The Indian startup ecosystem has been witnessing a new trend in the last couple of years. Innovations which were somewhere lost in the sea of repetitiveness is now seeing a comeback in the Indian ecosystem. You know, after making a mark in sectors like e-commerce, fintech, and AI, and many others, of course, the Indian startup ecosystem is all set to take the defense sector by storm. With the innovations and the out-of-the-box ideas that they have come up with. Um, it is important to note that till about a few years ago, the Indian defense sector was an exclusive club for large cap companies. But thanks to the Indian startup revolution in the last 1 decade or so, a lot of small startups are entering into the defense sector. Under the Make in India program, the government of India has taken a slew of steps to address the nagging issues, including easing of complex defense licensing procedures, delicensing components, dual purpose items, and many more. The government primarily aims at creation of an ecosystem to foster innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace. By engaging with uh, industries, which includes mainly the MSME and startups, individual innovators, R&D institutions, academia, and provide them with grants, funds, and all other support, to carry out the R&D, which has good potential for future adaptation in the defense, Indian defense, and the aerospace needs. Some initiatives, including the setting up of the Technology Development Fund or the Defense Innovation Fund or the Defense India Startups Challenge. Um, there are a lot of these, such initiatives that the government of India has come up with. In 2018, for example, the government of India has launched Innovations for Defense Excellence, IDEX framework. This is done with an aim to achieve self-reliance and to foster innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace sector. Over 200 startups are at this point registered with the Startup India who are innovating in these fields. Um, India has also looked at setting up uh, um, fund uh, which will help these kind of developmental or defense startups to grow pretty fast and come up with cutting edge technologies that can be used by the armed forces. um, Recently, there was an announcement in one of the speeches by the minister that they plan to achieve at least 50 tangible innovation by startups that can be included or inducted into the armed forces in the coming years. Technology startups are the new face of India and can successfully enhance India in its technological competences. Uh, with this backdrop, as I said earlier, the Defense Ministry has reserved a defense modernization project worth 500 billion for startups alone. It would also be setting up 5 more defense innovation hubs across the country by 2024. This is in addition to existing ones in Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. The MOD would also, conduct more defense startup challenge for the startups in line with the two that have already been done. And this is not the exhaustive list of measures. FDI is an ongoing process. It keeps on having amendments, and a lot of other measures have been also been taken to strengthen the defense sector, uh, and in the process also invite MSMEs and startups to come and become part of the journey. With defense being recognized as one of the strategic sectors under Make in India, this represents a big opportunity for startups to venture into this sector as well. Startups across India are leveraging new technologies such as drone, image analysis, robotic, artificial intelligence for strengthening the India's defense effort. The future of defense ecosystem is technological innovations, and there is surely a huge demand for such startups in India. There is definitely a momentum seen in the last couple of years with the emergence of some defense specific startups providing innovation and solutions to the armed forces. Recently, 101 defense items were also completely protected for domestic purchases. In coming days, this list would be made more comprehensive and many items would be added to it. The aim of the list is not to restrict imports only, but this is a step taken to encourage industries in India to come forward and participate in the procurement process. And this essentially is targeted to the MSME and the startups alone. According to the Defense Ministry estimates, contract worth almost 4 lakh crore will be placed with domestic manufacturers within the next 6 to 7 years alone. Defense manufacturers feel that localization of defense is a new and an upcoming market, and it is starting to gain traction. It will fully develop in the next 5 to 7 years, um, and 10 years probably on the outer side. The self-reliance in defense is not far-fetched dream. It will very much be possible to achieve, and there is definitely, hope in the future, and we look at a very bright future in the sector for. There has been a lot of success stories from startups, in the IDEX challenge itself, or some of the listing that the ministry has come up with. They've identified a lot of startups who have come up with innovative solutions. I'll just mention a few here. For example, uh, Big Bang Boom Solutions, which is a company, which is producing barium nitride based hybrid personal combat armors, which involves a low temperature and a low pressure technique, which not only helps in cutting down the manufacturing time, but also reduces the cost drastically. This is the only startup for that matter who has won the two IDEX challenges which were floated by the Ministry of Defense. Another startup, Egrex Technology, is manufacturing AI-based surveillance software for uh, video analytics to improve safety and security of the campuses, borders, and the cities. They have major customers, which include Indian Army, Border Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force, police of certain major cities like Chennai and others. On the other hand, for example, on the medtech side of things, there is a startup which is based out of the incubation center Sign at the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, um, Pacify Medical Technologies. That's a startup that has a patent protected technology which can spray skin tissues on wounds for a faster recovery of the wounds, and especially on burn wounds. I think this is a great technology that could be used on field, on battlefields, or on fronts by the soldiers for a quick recovery and an immediate attention to wounds uh, that could be done. Despite Brexit just around the corner as we talk today, the UK, which has consistently been the largest economy in the world, has been promoting itself as a standalone market, in contrast to the European gateway tag which it used to have, or a point of attraction that it used to have for the Indian companies. Having created a slew of hubs other than London. There are hubs like Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds. The country is now looking at multi-level, multi-layered, deep collaboration with Indian counterparts as well. There are a lot of huge uh, potentials on tech transfer partnerships between startups as well as MSMEs. For example, there is a company which has its origin in New Zealand but has now based and headquartered out of Mumbai. It has entered into an OEM technology tie-up with Domo Tactical Communications, DTC UK, a leading company in the world of secure military tactical communication solutions. Um, FICCI now builds the end product based on the technology that is at the core, which is being provided by DTC technology. This is just one example, and I could go on with the list of these kind of collaborations that can happen, and these kind of opportunities that have been presented by these changes and these steps that have been taken by the government of India.